trust that jealousy. I haven't talked about minimalism in a while, and I figured right now, I mean, I'm about to turn 30, so what better time than to...
Oh shit.
Today I want to talk about free time, more specifically free time between couples. When you get it, how do you get over the arguments? See, Laura and I, it's taken us a long time to figure out a system where each of us don't feel slighted. Let me start by telling you what doesn't work. Started out by the first thing we had to overcome when we first started trying to go out was like the whole jealousy thing, where if you're going out with a girl or you're going out with a guy and opposite sex, like that jealousy. But honestly, that's not really easy to overcome, especially when you're early in a relationship. It's like, oh, well, you're gonna be out late till, 12 o'clock in the morning or whatever. Like, what the hell are you doing? What would typically happen is Laura would have some friends that she'd want to hang out with. And say we had the exact same day, say it was like a Saturday that we all were gonna have time to kind of go out and separate and do our own thing. Well, typically she'd have like friends she'd hang out with, and then I hadn't like established plans because we'd been bickering back and forth. And all of a sudden I'm kind of just at the house chilling alone, or vice versa, where I'd have friends that I could hang out with, but she didn't have anyone she wanted to hang out with, and therefore we would end up calling each other back and forth throughout that time that's supposed to be like free, and like just giving each other shit. It's not easy, especially when you have a lot of priorities, a lot of things going on in your life. I mean, most people do. You have work, you have family, sometimes you have kids, all the time I have kids. And then you might also have hobbies that you want to do, and when you kind of mix all that on top of a relationship and trying to make sure it's equal time for that person and equal amount of time for you, while also mixing in kids where you have to babysit, it's definitely messy. Laura is definitely a night owl. I'm a morning person and she's a night owl, so rightfully, if we both tried to hang out at the same time, if it's in the evening time, I'm just not having a great time. And if it's in the morning time, she's still pretty much asleep, so it doesn't really work out that way for each of us. Also, we have kids, which throws a huge layer of complication onto it, meaning that like if she's going out, that means that I have to babysit the kids, which ultimately means it's not fun time at all, and vice versa. So on top of like jealousy and trust and like, oh, you're going out and doing something fun and I'm just stuck here with the kids, it makes the whole situation hard. But you gotta push through a lot of that, and if it's really something that you both need, which trust me, you do need, you have to come together, and there's gonna be a little bit of sacrifice, and there's also gonna be a little bit of growth, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be so much better. A quick side note, so you guys might have noticed I'm carrying this huge bag on me, and I haven't even gone a mile and my back is hurting. I've decided I'm getting rid of the second camera and a couple of these other items. 90% of what I do is on this small little guy right here, so how we typically do it is Friday night, typically she just goes out and does her thing. Usually after, we put the kids in bed, 7:30, whatever, she goes out with her girlfriends, goes out to the bar, does, whatever it is she wants to do, and comes home about, anywhere from 12 to 2. It took a while for me personally to kind of get used to this and be okay with it, and it goes a lot with like trust and being able to understand that she needs like her own time, and that I'll benefit if I'm not flipping out about her being out so late. And like I said, it really comes down to trust. Do you trust your partner? Have they given you any reason to not trust them? So I don't know if that'll work for every single person, because going to a bar late at night, that can be a hard issue for a lot of people. I had to get up at 6 a.m. She'd still be tired from the night before. And so ended up pushing off the plan. Didn't make me mad. I made plans previous, and we had to really get over that too. So figured out 8:30 is a better time, and then like it goes to like 2 or 3 or 4 o'clock. So that's what I would recommend personally. Like if you are having a hard time figuring out you time, like with your partner, especially if you have kids, you guys just really need to sit down and think about it. I think the first like month, like I said, was kind of tough because we were still kind of figuring it out and getting the hang of what works and what doesn't work. There's so much more freedom in both our lives that I don't think I would trade it for. I'm able to plan out a day, like weekly. Like if someone wants to hang out with me on Saturday, great, like I'm available. If someone wants to hang out with her Friday evening, then great, she's available. And I know that I pretty much have the kids, and she knows that she has the kids, and it gives us time to it ultimately gives us time. It ultimately gives us time to just be ourselves, find out who we are on our own. Like me personally, I like to go on a lot of adventure style stuff, and I'm loving it. Her personally going, hanging out with the girls, clubbing, doing her thing. And I think that's super important, because in relationships you have to, I've talked about this before, but you got like you got me, and then you got the relationship. And a lot of people have trouble with just having a relationship and not keeping themselves or, you know, controlling their partner or vice versa. I'm gonna take one more loop around, and I think that's gonna wrap up today's vlog. It's super important for you to have like your own time for you to discover a little bit more about yourself. When you're always together, and I mean together with either the kids or together with your partner, there's a lot of things that they might not like that you enjoy that are just part of you, and they're not exactly stopping you from doing those things, but when you're with them, it's almost like one of those things where it's like, well, what do you want to eat and what do you want to eat? And instead of picking like, I want sushi, and she's like, I want, you know, crab tacos or something weird like that, you just kind of meet in the middle and you eat at Chick-fil-A. So I'm dark now, hold on. So when you take time to be apart and go about your day, you're able to do things that you enjoy. Like I'm going hiking, she goes clubbing, and we come back and we have even more love for each other because we're able to allow each other to do that without like getting crazy mad and upset. Not saying that it won't happen, and not saying that there won't be days where it's like, ugh, what the hell. But definitely try it out. Pick a day out of the week where your partner will babysit and you go out, and vice versa. Try your hardest, if you're the one that has to babysit, not to constantly call them or text them or message them. Let them have their time. You know, check on them, but let them have their time. And when they get back, I guarantee you 9 times out of 10 they're going to be super elated just to see you, and instead of being like super mad that you know, bothered them the whole time that they were trying to have their own alone time. Okay, that's how me and Laura get our free time away from the kids and do things that we want to do. All right, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.